Morning, friends. It's another beautiful day here at Elk Creek Acres. I'm just getting ready to get the goats out for the morning. Got it. I just filled up their water bucket, and now we are just walking out to their new paddock that we got them set up in. Dog doesn't think she needs to hang out right here. Let's see. So I got them fresh water, and I'll just set it down here near their little goat shack. Just checking the fence line and watching my footing because this is a steep hill here. Belle's run off. She doesn't really run off. She's just not right where I could see her. There she is. Checking out all the new vole holes. Oh, we have so many of them. I can't believe it. Here's another new hole. Dadgummit. Right over top of my fence here. There, just kind of kick it and level it out again. That all looks pretty good. Bella, come! They're graveling our road. Big dump trucks coming by. Good thing she's trained to a whistle. She picked that up when we had Darby Nadine, our border collie. Darby had specific whistles, and she always had the "hey little lady, look at me" whistle, and then the come whistle. So that's the "hey, look at me." That means come here. That means come here now. She's not as good at that one. All right, now we'll go get the goats. Here's the goaties this morning. Just woke up. Gotta get their morning stretch. There she goes. Here they are. I woke them up. Yes, I did, huh? The two boys were over there in their corner, and Annie was over there in that corner. And now they're all here begging to come outside, waiting for their leashes. What are you doing, Mr. Beans? You gonna say hi to everybody? Say hi to everybody, Beanie Baby. Yeah. Hi. Hi, Annie. Hey, be nice, naughty lady. She's getting irritated because I won't put them on their leashes. Yes, because I haven't put you on your leash yet. She likes to have her little horns scratchy. Yeah. Alright guys, let's put your leashes on you and get you out so you can go do your job. Here they are, little gumball. Cutie patootie. There's Beans on a stump. There's little Annie. They're doing a pretty good job in this paddock. They've stuck down here on this lower part. I've been walking them up a little bit yesterday, and I'll do it again today, where I just kind of walk up here around the edge of the fence, encourage them to come up to this upper part. There goes Annie. She's like, okay, I'll help myself. There's little gummers. Hey, Gumball. Don't come all the way up to the fence, sir. Little beans. I'll cut out because that dump truck's coming. It's getting pretty loud. It's by no means a level property. The only really level spot's down there, down in the orchard area and where the house sits. But gosh, it's just perfect. Live up in a forest, creating this silvopasture, starting at the very beginning with 3 little goats. Pretty soon, before you know it, next year, we'll get a couple sheep. We'll get a couple of little market lambs for the boys next spring, and then as soon as we can afford it, we'll purchase a couple more sheep. But they're kind of spendy, so I've got to earn some money before I can get those sheep out here on this silvopasture. This is definitely a fun adventure. So now that we have the goats set up in their paddock for the day, and I'm officially a little bit chilly because it is a little cold this morning, we're gonna go inside and we're gonna do some stuff inside. One thing I forgot to mention while out there on the side of the hill, some sad news for our little home here. My oldest boy's kitty cat has not come home in 4 days, so we're pretty sure she has met her demise. So R.I.P. little Mage. She definitely, I don't like to speak ill of the dead, but she was definitely kind of an evil little cat and only loved one person, and that was my oldest boy. So I'm sure she's gone on to a happier place, so I'm sure she'll be waiting on the other side of the Rainbow Bridge for someday, many, many, many decades away, to reunite with her little Braden, or Big Braden, but he'll always be my little Braden. She didn't like anyone else but him. She would just come running to Braden. He would call to her, and she could be anywhere. She would come running. She slept on his bed. She ate in his room. She didn't hang out with anyone else. Every once in a while, she'd lay on my lap or something like that if I was crocheting and it was nice and warm. But really, truly, especially since we moved here where we all have more room, she would go outside and do her thing and catch her little mice or whatever she wanted to do, and then she'd come right back in and go straight to Braden and hang out in his room. And so I feel really bad for him. Gosh, he's had her for, I think, almost 7 years. So be thinking of my oldest when you watch this video. Maybe send him some good vibes. And I know he's sad about his Mage kitty. So today I'm gonna take the litter box out of the house. He did request that I keep her cat tree in his room for a while, and keep the litter box, but I told him I'd clean out the litter box and I'd move it out to the carport area by the shop, empty, and that just if she comes back, whether it's today, tomorrow, a month from now, whatever, if she returns, I will gladly put her litter box back in the house for her. She hasn't been home since Thursday afternoon, so that's Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. That's 4 nights out in the wilderness for her. So I kind of doubt she's going to come back. I told him that I was gonna call it last night and say we're not gonna continue searching for her. I'm pretty sure she won't come back. So poor Brayden and poor Mage. Nobody ever wants to not have closure and figuring out, what happened to your loved one. Now that I'm back at the goat barn, and I'm gonna put away their lead ropes, and then we'll go into the house and get some housework done, because we have company coming this week, you guys, and I am super freaking excited. Some of our friends from back in Spokane, where we used to live, are coming to visit us again. These friends have become family to us, and they've been here a couple of times, and they're coming to spend Thanksgiving with us. So that means that I need to get my house in order, make sure our guest room is all set up, and I'm just excited to get things going. So I'll meet you back here inside. Boy, you wouldn't know it now, but I was just out here a few minutes ago. I emptied the, I brought the litter box out, emptied the litter box, Mage's old one, and washed it and everything, and a freaking rainstorm just blew in from nowhere, just dumped. And then right at the end of it, it just dumped a whole bunch of hail, and then it stopped, of course. In the middle of the hailstorm, I was all worried about our little goaties, so I went and put them in our barn, and then now it's sunshiny. But I will just let them hang out in the barn for a while and make sure that this rain is going to actually go away, because it's still kind of, what's the word? Overcast over kind of west of us. So, oh my goodness, though, it just came in like a wrecking ball. It was crazy. So I'm just getting supper prepped, and we're going to have a hash tonight, and I'm also gonna have some squash along with it. So this is a really nice autumn squash, acorn. And I have some ground beef over on the stovetop that I've just taken out. And what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to simply roast it. I've put some tin foil in my baking dish here. I'm going to split this, get the seeds taken out, and throw just a little bit of salt and pepper on it, turn it upside down, roast it in the oven till it's done. So what I do with the seeds is I keep them, I dry them in my dehydrator, and then I will grind up a few of them at a time, and I'll take them out and put them on the top of my goat's food. And it's just a really good natural dewormer, just kind of helps keep their gut cleared out. Any kind of squash is good for that. Goats love pumpkins, and my goats seem to really like acorn squash. So I just save that, dry it up, and that way nothing goes to waste. You can also eat these. Some squashes have even meatier seeds than the pumpkin. I don't feel like these acorn squash seeds are any bigger than a pumpkin seed for sure. So I'm not real worried about trying to save them for us. So I'm going to put some salt and pepper on here, and then I'll pop them in the oven. Let me just rinse my hand off here real quick. All right. So we'll put the pepper on first, because my dad always said you put pepper on first so you can see your salt. I don't know if that's true, but. And I'm sure it's gonna turn out fabulous. Each rack has openings in there, and these are too big to be drying squash seeds with. So I'm gonna use this insert, and that way they won't fall through. Since I'm only doing one squash, it should all fit on this one insert here. And I've washed those seeds. Now I'm just going to spread them out in an even layer. And I know this doesn't seem like much. I mean, they're just icky old squash seeds, right? But when you can utilize them by as a natural dewormer, or even just like a little gut clear out, you know, I don't rely solely on these for deworming my poor little goaties. But they're a good snack, and they're a good way to help keep them cleaned out. All right, so I have them in a mostly even layer. We'll get them drying for a few hours, and then I'll stir them, and then I'll continue drying them. So I'm just getting ready to feed the goats, and I brought them out a little treat of some cooked squash and then the guts from that squash that I scooped out and cleaned out earlier. So I'm going to put this on top after I take it into the goats. So I'll put a scoop of grain, of pelleted grain, and then just a little bit of textured grain on top, and then I'll also bring on some extra hay. This, grab our treat, and we'll go feed the goats. I have successfully fed the goats. Normally I prep their barn before I bring them in here while they're still out on pasture, so it's super easy for me to get everything laid out, and I don't have to fight them to get their food into their trough. But it worked out all right tonight. It worked out okay, huh? Thanks for following along on this video with me today. I'm going to end it here and just say until next time, happy trails to you, and we will see you right here on our next video at Elk Creek Acres.